Avalanche has been on absolute fire lately, going from $17 all the way up to a high of $42 just yesterday. It is a trend of L1s continuing to pump as we've seen Solana and that entire ecosystem shoot up to $77. Now, if you feel like you missed out on the Avalanche pump, fear not, because we have two tokens in the Avalanche ecosystem that we believe are going to garner a lot of attention and liquidity. Let's get right into it. So why do people choose Avalanche, right? So you have this piece of news. Citi, one of the largest banks in the world, is developing blockchain foreign exchange solutions, and they decided to use the Avalanche network. Now, why are we continuing to see enterprises use Avalanche? One word, subnet, right? The way the Avalanche network works, it runs on subnets. What are some of the advantages? They are independent networks. Each subnet's performance is isolated from other subnets in the ecosystem, so increased usage on one subnet won't affect another. Unlike Ethereum, where you have all the transactions coming into the layer one and bogging everything down, making all the other transactions more expensive, these subnets essentially compartmentalize and separate them. Native interoperability. Avalanche Warp Messaging enables native cross-subnet communication. And this is a big one. Accommodate application-specific requirements. A subnet could require that validators meet certain hardware requirements so that the application does not suffer from low performance due to slow validators. Some subnets have multiple validators. Some have just one or two. So by being able to customize your subnet, companies who launch on Avalanche can pick and choose what are the necessities to run a validator node. Launch a network designed with compliance in mind. We know compliance is a massive undertaking, not just in the US, but across the globe, as governments are trying to shut crypto down or at least slow its progress. And Avalanche seems to have solved that issue for enterprises, as the subnet architecture makes regulatory compliance manageable. Each subnet can have their own KYC rules, AML rules, and so on and so forth. Control the privacy of on-chain data. Institutions conscious of their stakeholders' privacy can create a private subnet where the contents of the blockchains would be visible only to a set of pre-approved validators. Now, speaking of subnets, there is currently a total of 96 subnets, 71 blockchains, and over 1,600 validators. Now, mind you, each validator has to stake 2,000 Avalanche, which is why you see 255 million Avalanche is currently staked as validators. Now, a lot of people say, well, subnets running validators, they don't really do anything for the price of Avalanche. Although that is partly true, it doesn't have an immediate effect on the underlying token. What it does do, as you can see here on the AVAX.network website, subnets require validators, and each validator must have a minimum of 2,000 AVAX. In addition, more subnets will create network effects on the Avalanche ecosystem. Also, if other subnets use AVAX as their native token, that will also drive the value of the AVAX token. So although each subnet might not use the AVAX token as gas fees, they are going to have to buy 2,000 AVAX to set up a validator. So it's good for the network, good for the price of Avalanche. Now, DeFi and GameFi have been a big narrative for a lot of chains, Solana and now Avalanche. As you can see here from Crypto Slate, Avalanche DeFi protocols hit 9-month high as the AVAX token rallies. And if we swap over to DeFi Llama, $903 million in total value locked for AVAX. You can see it did get to a height of $11 billion. But you can see here, we are starting to go vertical over the last 6 weeks. And just to give you a sneak peek of the two tokens we're going to talk about Banky, which is the #1 protocol on Avalanche that has a TVL of $500 million, and why we think this thing can have a 2 to 3x. Also, we're going to talk about another one. We'll kind of leave that one for a little bit later. Now, if you're like, hey, I want exposure to the AVAX token, right? Should I get in now? Should I wait? You know you don't want to enter a hot market. Well, good news for you is the AVAX token has actually begun to cool off. This is AVAX on the 4-hour. You can see here the box I've drawn is the area of support that I would be looking to add to my Avalanche bag or purchase it for the first time. Between $30.97, $34.39, we have a big volume spike right around that $33 flat area. We are currently sitting at about $36 in AVAX token. So if you're waiting for the absolute best entry price, I would wait for between $31 and $34. Now, I mentioned, what are some tokens? We saw Jito run. Marinade Finance has been running. The Solana token has been running. Avalanche is next. And what has been the trend? What has been the top protocols on each of these chains? Let's look at Ethereum on DeFi Llama. Number one in TVL is Lido, liquid staking. Let's take a look at Solana. 911 million in total value locked. What is one of the top ones? It is Jito, liquid staking, which is why today's first token is Benki, the number one in TVL on Avalanche. It is not just liquid staking, which is what makes this thing unique. It's liquid staking, and it's very similar to Aave, where you can lend and borrow in a decentralized manner. Now, liquid staking market, over $290 million in AVAX in staking. In the markets to lend, borrow, and earn, you have over $300 million. So money is pouring into Benki, and this is just the beginning of the run. Another exciting thing. Now, we understand running validator nodes and setting up a parachain or setting up a subnet can be expensive, right? Not everyone has 2,000 AVAX to set up a subnet. Well, what Benki is doing is they're making it easier and more affordable for anyone to be able to launch a subnet via their Ignite program. Now, this is from the Benki Medium. Ignite introduces a transformative and accessible model for launching validators and Avalanche subnets designed for everyone, ranging from institutions to individual developers and Web3 natives. Ignite ensures blockchain builders can afford to build atop Avalanche's cutting-edge Web3 technology, making validation affordable and igniting an explosion of Web3 innovation. Now, right now, again, to run an Avalanche validator, you need 2,000 AVAX. Minimum validator for a subnet is 6 validators. Multiply that by 2,000. You're looking at an investment of $320,000 to just set up a subnet with 6 validators. What Ignite is looking to do is give you 2 options: pay as you go or stake. If paid in Q1, there will be a 5% in the key token, which is the native token of Benki. You'll get a 5% discount. So you can pay as you go every week to pay for the full amount, or you can stake it. Staking requires a mix of AVAX and the key collateral to get started with no fees attached to using it. Users can launch one with a minimum of 500 AVAX and 150 AVAX worth of key. We talk about, as an investment, a token. What is its utility? Not just tokenomics. What is it used for? Benki is used for voting. Benki is used for lending. Benki is used to get discounts on trading. And Benki now can be used to launch a subnet and stake and get that thing going. Now, as far as some token prices here and what we're looking at, Benki does have a fully diluted market cap of about $217 million, total value locked of $262 million. You can see the revenue over the last 30 days is $35,000. That is up 64% over the last 7 days. Take a look at Benki markets. The great thing about this token, it is very accessible. It's very liquid. It's listed on top exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin. It's also available on dexes like Trader Joe and Pangolin. Has a fully diluted market cap of only $217 million. Tokenomics are decent. About 58% of its total supply is circulating, and it does have a max cap. It will never exceed more than 7.2 billion tokens. Take a look at something similar on Solana. Jito, fully diluted market cap of $2.8 billion. So we're talking about a 10x multiple away from reaching the #1 liquid staking protocol on Solana. You take a look at Lido, the #1 liquid staking protocol on Ethereum, fully diluted market cap, $2.2 billion. So although Benki has a lot of value already in there, it is already the #1 protocol on Avalanche. It has a lot of room to run. Now, you want exposure to the key token. What are some levels to look at? Well, I have a level drawn out here. This is Benki on the 1 hour. This trend line has held true going all the way back to December 5th. And again, this is on the hourly. So December 5th of this year. And we have hit this twice now. Are we going to hit it a third time? That is the level I'd be looking at if you are a price sensitive investor. So the key level would be 0.0261. It is currently sitting at 0.029 at the time of recording. Just please understand, this is not in the top 100. There always comes risk in trading and investing in outside of top 100 cryptocurrencies. So understand the risk and never invest more than you're willing to lose. Now, what's important for a layer one, right? What is one of the most important things? It is a DEX, especially when decentralization is at the forefront of a layer one like Avalanche. And well, what is the number one DEX on Avalanche? It is none other than not your favorite grocery store, but Trader Joe's. Here's the cool thing about Trader Joe's. They're not just a DEX. You can trade, you can farm, there's pools, you can buy NFTs, you can see the full suite of products and services here. You can launch your own token, you can market make in here. So this thing is the number one DEX on Avalanche. Take a look at total value locked, $150 million. If we take a look at the volume over the last, you can see here this big spike in volume on Trader Joe as more people are flocking to the Avalanche network. We saw what happened again with Solana. Solana's layer one rallied, and then all the dApps and all the projects built on top of Solana started to rally as well. We've seen Avalanche has been rallying. We don't believe the rally is over, but what is going to be next? Avalanche ecosystem tokens. And the Joe token is one that we're extremely excited about. Now, when we talk about tokenomics, supply is important. Circulating supply, total, and max supply. Here's a piece of news. Joe coin reaches maximum supply. No more tokens will be minted. Now, why is this so important? The law of supply and demand. If supply is high, demand is low, price goes down, and vice versa. Now, what happens if demand shoots up, but supply stays the same or even decreases? That's when you get these volatile moves up in price for some of these tokens. And here we go. No more tokens minted for Joe. The largest native DeFi platform on the Avalanche ecosystem is back in the spotlight. In their latest announcement, they stated that they've reached a maximum supply of 500 million tokens and will no longer mint any new ones. This is a quote from the Joe team. With Trader Joe reaching a total supply of 500 million, an important milestone has been achieved. In line with our planned tokenomic strategy, no more Joe tokens will be minted. The new phase of Trader Joe is now being highlighted with solid stability and preparing the platform for its next evolution. Take a look from Token Terminal here. We have a $257 market cap, $257 million market cap, fully diluted, 328. Look at this revenue over the last 30 days, up 266%, sitting at $670,000 with fees spiking 208%, which means if fees are up, people are using the platform. Now, here is one thing that I want to draw your attention to. So here I have Uniswap pulled up. Now, if you're not familiar, Uniswap is the number one DEX decentralized exchange on the number one layer one Ethereum. I want you to take a look at what I have highlighted on the left-hand side. This is volume to market cap ratio, 5.28%, as you can see here. Let's take a look at Orca, the number one DEX on Solana. Look at this volume to market cap ratio. You're looking at 2.97%. Now, if we take a look at Trader Joe, we're sitting at 24.16%. Multiple of volume divided by market cap. Now, if Joe were to line up with where Uniswap and Orca is, the native DEX for Ethereum and Solana, you're looking at a $1.3 billion market cap for Trader Joe, where it's currently sitting at $312 million, which would put the price of each token at $2.94. Now, Joe is not as liquid as Banky, but it is still available on the largest exchange in the world, and that is none other than Binance, currently sitting at 62 cents. Now, if you want a good entry to Joe, I got good news for you. We are at a level that you might feel comfortable picking up some Joe tokens. This is a level that's held true. This was back on December 11th. So just yesterday, this is Joe on the 4-hour. I would be looking for an entry here, right around this 60 to 61 cent level. If we lose that level, the next gap down, this volume gap you see here, the next set of bids we are coming in is going to be right around this 51.6 cent level. And again, understand you guys, this is not a top 100 token. It is the #1 DEX on Avalanche, but there is imminent risk when you invest in tokens outside of the top 100, when you invest in cryptocurrency, period. So proceed with caution, but these are the 2 tokens we are excited about in the Avalanche ecosystem. If you want to learn more, make sure to come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.